Hey, this is Joel with Bite Size Piece of Hope from Glenwood. Wanted to talk with you a little bit further on the tomb and the sepulcher. As we've went through these things, sometimes I have to go real fast, but I wanted to touch base on this again. Matthew chapter 27 verses 62 following, it says, "The next day they followed the day of preparation. The chief priests and the Pharisees all came together to Pilate, saying, 'Sir, we remember that the deceiver said while he was yet alive, after 3 days I will rise again. And this commander that the sepulchre be made sure or guarded until the third day, lest his disciples come by night and steal him away, and say to the people, he is risen from the dead, so the last error should be worse than the first.' And Pilate said to him, 'You have a watch, go your way and make sure as you can.' So they went and made sure that the sepulchre was kept, and sealing that a stone was setting to watch." As I read that, there's a thing with the Jewish people. They believed that the spirit would hover around the body for at least 3 days, but after 3 days, there's just no way. The body would never come back to life. And so when Jesus says this, he's telling them basically he's going to do the impossible. And so the Pharisees, as they came, they talked to Pilate, they said, "Look, he said he's going to do this, so we've got to make sure that nothing happens." You know, I see in the news a lot of people saying, "Oh, all this doom and gloom, and we'll never recover from this." And I'm just reminded by this scripture that the Son of God, who people said could never raise himself, the only way he was ever going to come up was be stolen, that he did. And so today I want to remind you that our greatest generation are out there, and they lived through the Depression. They made it through the Korean War, they made it through measles, they made it through polio, they made it through everything. A lot of you remember going through the housing market crash in 2008. You remember September 11th. Some of us remember, you know, our parents going off to war in Vietnam and Desert Storm and all these things. You've made it through. You can do this. We can do this. We just need to sit back and do what needs to be done. I'm reminded by a song by Elevation Worship, and this morning I woke up and it was in my head, and one of the verses out of this song from Elevation Worship, "Do It Again," it says, "Your promise still stands, your great is your faithfulness. I'm still in your hands, this is my confidence, you have never failed me yet." That is the confidence I wish for all of us to have. And that is your bite-sized piece of hope.